Chronic pain, the inner demon on a Sunday, giving y'all a Sunday evening live. Y'all come on in the chat room. Recognize. You see what the title says, folks? We got to talk about it. Sam Bankman-Fried went back to jail. Adin Ross trying to emasculate these young boys. Let's talk about it, folks. Let's talk about it. Chronic pain, the inner demon in the house. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk today. I got a good one for y'all today. A good one for you today. Chronic pain in the house on a Sunday. It's been a while since I've been live on a Sunday. Live, period. It's been a while since I've been live. But yes, today I'm live on a Sunday. So tell a friend to tell a friend, chronic pain is live in the house. Yes, folks, live in the house. We're going to talk about it today. Sam Bankman-Fried, Adin Ross. Is Adin Ross trying to emasculate the young black gamers that we have coming up today? We see a lot of stuff going on with Adin Ross that we got to talk about. Adin Ross, Charleston White. What was that all about? Is Adin Ross trying to emasculate Charleston White as well? Let's talk about it, folks. Let's talk about it. Come on in the chat room. Give your thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, folks. Come on in the chat room. Is Adin Ross trying to emasculate these young black gamers? Is this the new way of pushing woke? They're trying to get Charleston White. I guess they got back to Charleston White, so they're going to kiss and make up. Adin Ross is going to have to apologize, coming down from his big boss via Charleston White. And then they could work out their details and she-tails. But yes, folks, come on in the chat room. I want everyone to come on in the chat room, folks. Show your love and respect for the channel. When you come in here, give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up when you come in here, folks. Show your love and respect for the channel. But yes, you see what's going on. You see what's going on. The emasculation of the young black youth. They are targeted today. Yes, folks, even DJ Academics with Rumble. That's a target to the young black youths. Whether getting votes or whatever the case may be, it's still a target on the young black youths and also the agendas that they're pushing. So you see a lot of companies giving out a lot of deals, extravagant deals, to a lot of young perky, jerky, young boys who they could have to push their agenda. Sure enough, what they do, is entice them with money. Once they entice them with money, they could flaunt and gallivant and groom others to come on in their industry. So yes, folks, let's talk about it. So I saw a video with Adin Ross, two of them actually, and Charleston White. Then I just started to dig more deeper into, Adin Ross, you know what I mean? Just dig a little more deeper into his background. And I get to realize, who he is as one of the number one streamers on Kick. Maybe the number one streamer on Kick. But folks, what I saw from Adin Ross and Charleston White's 2 days in Vegas was an escapade. Let's just say that. Folks, Charleston White is one of the most brewingest names on the internet or on blogs. So of course, they're going to try to entice somebody like Charleston White. That's marketing. Oh yeah. But Charleston White is raw, uncensored. So when Adin Ross and Charleston White and Adin Ross boys were in Vegas, these guys were having discussions of dealing and talking about male and male parts and stuff like that. I didn't like the discussion, for real. It was very uncomfortable to watch. I watched a few pieces just so I could get the information to disperse to you guys. But I didn't understand the whole pushing of an agenda on someone who was like, pretty much a different from what you're pushing. And even though the person might resist, you still try to push the agenda. So they caught Charleston White in a quagmire this weekend, or this week, I should say, in Vegas. Adin Ross flew Charleston White out. I thought it was on the bitch you fly out. I thought you want to fly bitches out, but hey, business is business. Marketing is marketing. So yeah, he flew Charleston White out to Vegas, and you see what happens. Even the restaurant that they went to, Dick's restaurant, even the restaurant they chose, folks, look at details. Even the restaurant they chose, Dick's restaurant. Pause. Let that sink in. I mean, in your brain. Dick's restaurant. That was the restaurant of choice. And you heard the way the waitress, when she came over, I guess it was pre-planned, I don't know. It was nothing but curse words, and it was very unprofessional. Let's just say that. Then Charleston White played along with it. But this man was videoing Charleston White all this time. Live streaming. Maybe Charleston White wasn't getting paid for that. I don't know. But you see what unfolds, folks. Charleston White and one of Adin Ross' boys from his entourage, a young black man, almost got into it physically over talking about body parts, male body parts. Folks, I'm not making this shit up. It's real. Go watch the videos with Adin Ross. All they talk about is male body parts. And Charleston White played along for a little bit, but I guess he was annoyed, and he let them know, listen, man, there's too many mentioning of body parts, male body parts, and I don't want to play along with this game. But that's the agenda that they were pushing, folks. So that's why I asked the question, is Adin Ross emasculating these young boys when it comes down to the gaming situation? This is a part of grooming. Because don't forget, they know who to use. They know who to choose together to entice you. Adin Ross is a great guy, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, the way they're pushing the agenda and who they're using to entice the young youths. They push it in gaming, in the young kids' clothing. Look at Target. They're woke. Look at Bud Light. Look at Ford, F-150. All these woke, they turn to joke. Because not everybody is into this. You might only find 1% of the country, 1% maybe of the country that might play along with the shenanigans. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe 1%. I don't mind talking to other people or dealing with people from other, you know what I mean? But don't push your agenda on me if I'm not one of those persons that deals with that. I'll talk with you. I'll socialize with you. I will even be friends with you. Oh, yes. Companion. Oh, yes. But you have to respect the borders. Respect the borders. Respect friendship. Respect what I believe in. Just like how I respect what you believe in, and I respect your friendship. And from there on, we could build. But folks, I'm telling you, from what I'm seeing, even with the Island Boys on Adin Ross live stream, those boys are sodomites, if you ask me. Let's talk about the Island Boys for a second. Two sodomites, two twin sodomites. I would even call them the Island Girls. They're the worst of the worst when it comes on to experience for young people. They are the worst of the worst when it comes on to showing young people credibility and how to sustain and handle situations in life. Because they can't even handle themselves. I see even Adin Ross trying to teach them how to balance, and they can't even listen for 1 second. Not even for 1 second. So that's why I said Adin Ross is doing some good things, you know, but like I said, I don't like certain conversations, you know, especially when you have youths listening to your live stream. You have to be very careful. You know, you're a good kid. You know, I like your spirit, you know, and your demeanor. You know what I mean? But the Island Boys, Adin Ross, when they come on your show, they don't even give you 1 second, 1 minute, even with your guesses, just to explain themselves or even ask questions. No wonder you say they're robots. I think the two Island Boys are the first AI kids from Epstein Island. Oh, yeah. The Island Boys are the first two AI kids. Oh, yes. That's why they behave that way. You got to be AI kids from the Epstein Island. And they're claiming they're Cubans. You know, come on. So, yes, folks. So the agenda, you know, I see the way they're pushing it. And I asked the question. I am not saying it's happening, but is Adin Ross emasculating these young boys with his rhetoric? Let's just say that. I don't know. But I see something that I'm like, yo, it seems like they're pushing an agenda, but hey, he's getting paid well for it. He tell you he's straight. I think he's very honest in a way. But I see the way he pissed Charleston White off and they go back and forth. It was fun to watch. I ain't lying. You know, look like a good kid. Even when the altercation starts, you see Adin Ross got out the way. This is a kid He's not into fights, you know. He's into his games and what he does. So that's why they use him, because he's a tool, you know what I mean? To entice and bring in all the younger ones that they could market into that society. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's how they entice and market the young ones into that society. So Adin Ross, I'm telling you, these new streamers are the new celebrities today. Look what happened to Kai the other day in New York. Kai shuts down Midtown. I grew up in New York, Brooklyn. Then I moved to New Jersey, right across the bridge. Now I'm in Florida. So I know the city. A streamer shuts down New York a few weeks ago. A streamer. The only time you find Times Square shut off is either if they're having a show, GMA or something like that, having a show, or it could be New Year's Eve or something like that, pre-planned. But this guy Kai, streamer, number one black streamer, shut it down. So can you imagine what Adin Ross could do to New York? That's why they're trying to charge Kai for insurrection, because they've never seen this before. This is the new world order of the young people, you know? The new world order of the young people. And that's why you see streaming is a big business, and it's just so fast going. And they're trying to reel in Charleston White, you know? But I guess he didn't like the way they're pushing the agenda on him forcefully, and he backed off, you know? He said, I can't sign for this. You know, I have to keep my dignity, you know? And then Charleston White went home, made a few tapes about Adin Ross. You know, he cursed him out, of course, whatever the case may be. But these two guys could, you know, kiss and make up. Because you know why? Adin Ross is a nice kid, because you remember, even when the altercation starts, several times I saw him approach his buddy, let me just say his buddy, and ask him, yo, man, you guys just make up, you know, forget about it. Even Charleston White, you know what I mean? Charleston White was willing to make up and say, yo, forget about it. But Adin Ross, his crew, his entourage, this guy was a very hothead. And when you have Adin Ross, when you have a platform like this, I'm not saying that guy's not your buddy, but let him know, listen, man, your temperament will cause me to lose business. You have to calm your temperament. That wasn't a good display you dispersed to the world. So let that young black man know that, you know, your temperament wasn't right. And that's why Adin Ross, Charleston White said, your boss, so you need to come out publicly and apologize and denounce your friend for what he did, because that was wrong. And from a grown man's perspective, I understand Charleston White. And I agree. I agree. Why should I take a little young snot-nosed punk trying to disrespect me, and I'm not trying to disrespect him? Then he's going to take his coat off, ready to go, you know, ready to engage. That's a threat. Because you're ready, you know, you're ready to in fighting position. That's a threat. Charleston White could have neutralized you and got away with it, because we all saw it on camera. He could have neutralized you and got away with it, young man. So calm your roll and calm your temperament. If you want to get to Adin Ross status, you see what a young man did? Adin Ross ran out the way. He said, I'm not fucking up my money for you, even though you're my buddy, but I'm not fucking up my money. Move! Get out the way! Get out the way! So Adin Ross, get the fuck out the way. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's not a matter about race or nothing. These people are people, because growing up in the city, I grew up around a lot of Jews in New York. So they're the closest to me. You know what I mean? So I don't look at them no different from me or nobody else. You know what I mean? I was born in Jamaica, you know, raised in New York, you know, so I didn't know prejudice or racism until I came to this country. You know, so I'm not with that. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, listen, I could deal with your agenda or your wokeness or whatever the case may be, as long as you're being respectful with it. You see what I'm saying? I could deal with anybody, but just be respectful. Because I'll give you respect as long as you give me respect. If I say, yo, man, my friend, that conversation, is very uncomfortable for me, then listen, give me that respect. Because if I'm saying something to you about straight people and you're feeling uncomfortable, I'm going to stop and be like, hey, I forget my friend, don't deal with this, or this guy don't deal with this. So I'm just going to stop. And respect goes both ways. You know what I mean? So yes, folks. So what I see, a lot of young men that follow Adin Ross, especially men of color, I am wondering if they're getting emasculated by this man because of the way he talks, his rhetoric. Because when you bring on boys like the Island Boys were sitting there kissing each other. Two sodomites. They look like decorations, figurines. Have you guys ever seen figurines? They look like figurines. They look like, Halloween, you know what I mean? They look like these little Halloween costumes. The Highland Boys or Highland Girls or the butt buddies or whatever you want to call them. And then, folks, one of them have the audacity to came out and say he's the top. I gotta take a sip for real. I can't make this shit up. The two twins, the two incest twins, one of them was bold enough to came out and say he was the top. That's how bold these twins are, and that's how sick and despicable they are. And this is what we have our kids watching. You know what I mean? These two kids have no type of money management, nothing. People try to teach them so much sense, but they won't even listen. Island Boys don't spend 1 minute listening to a person. They don't spend 30 seconds listening to another person's opinion. Island Boys don't take 1 minute to listen to an experience. Island Boys don't take 1 minute to listen to telling. That's why they're free falling. You see what I'm saying? Because, hey, man, the world wasn't, making one day, So you're not too grown to take telling, or you're not too young to take understanding and telling. You know what I mean? So I think Adin Ross meant them boys, or he meant them boys some good. But, man, you got to cut them boys loose, Adin Ross, because them two boys, man, island girls or whatever you want to call them, island sissies, man, you got to cut them loose because it's not good for what's going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, I understand the young people like them or whatever the case may be, but that incest stuff, we have kids growing up, man. We can't let our kids think that's normal. We can't let our kids think that's a normal behavior in this world. If we don't stand for something, we're going to fall for any and everything. We have to stand for something in this world. If we stand for the Island Boys bullshit, then what's going to happen 20 years from now? If we stand for that. 20 years from now, you're going to see a president run your country with another guy there with his face tattooed, tongue kissing. Would you like to see that? Your president have his twin brother up there kissing? Or somebody else? Would you like to see Andrew Tate and his brother kissing? That's nasty. Come on, Island Boys. Find some other way of making some money. And you guys do OnlyFans and all type of nasty stuff. You remind me of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what Island Boys remind me of. And that's what they look like. They look like Sodom and Gomorrah. Two sodomites. Two disgusting looking sodomites. That's what Island Boys are. So let me get down to now Sam Bankman-Fried. He's another one. Another one I think is from the woke agenda. Because Sam Bankman-Fried, let me say this right now. He concocted and went through with the biggest Ponzi scheme in America. Via the Bahamas. That's where he have his offices. But Sam Bankman-Fried is aligned with a lot of politicians. Billions of dollars people lost. Sam Bankman-Fried was freed and some ridiculous amount of money. Now you hear they said that he was tampering with evidence or witness. and they brought him back into jail. But folks, let me tell you something. This don't smell right. I'm going to explain to you. Sam Bankman-Fried's trial starts in October. You hear what I said? Sam Bankman-Fried just went into jail this past week, right? This is August. Sam Bankman-Fried trial starts in October. But folks, don't forget, they dropped the biggest charge against Sam Bankman-Fried. Have you ever asked yourself why? The biggest charge against Sam Bankman-Fried was dismissed? Folks, are we walking around with blindfolds? Did you see the charge? I'm trying to look for it so I can read it to you. Yeah, the biggest charge. Campaign finance funds, you know what I mean? Where we donate into the campaigns. The biggest charge of campaign finance funds. And that was dropped. So Sam Bankman-Fried is only going to stay in jail until October. This is how smart they are. Let me explain. Because they dropped the biggest charge of Sam Bankman-Fried, when he goes to court in October, this is how the sympathy works for the white world. When he goes to court in October and they tried him for the lesser charge, let's say they find him guilty. You know what they're going to say? Time served. And maybe the rest is on probation. That's the trick to the fuckery. That's what's going to happen with Sam Bankman-Fried. So don't forget, he spent most of his time in his family luxury home that he bought them. Okay? Instead of being in a jail cell. So now he's somewhere where the feds have him. He's going to be resting until October, then they release him. So Sam Bankman-Fried will be home for Thanksgiving. Believe when I tell you that, folks. They know how to orchestrate this shit. This is a part of the woke agenda. The reason why they dropped the finance charges against the campaign finance charges against Sam Bankman-Fried, because there was a lot of players in this game. A lot of government players in the campaign finance funds with Sam Bankman-Fried when it comes down to donations, crooked donations. So the government dropped the charge because the government didn't want to be exposed. Let me say for you, that's why they dropped that charge. Because if Sam Bankman-Fried had to testify, the government would look so bad. So bad. Woo! And we don't want that. Not in a public court. Not the government secrets. Oh no, not that. So yes, folks, Sam Bankman-Fried will be home for Thanksgiving. It's the fuckery that we're dealing with. The state of the obvious. They fuck you right in front of your eyes. Literally. So now that's why you see they have DJ Academics on Rumble, again, to entice the young youths, because Rumble is what, the left wing, the right wing? I don't even know. One of the wings, you know? But they put DJ Academics up there now on Rumble. So don't forget, you have Adin Ross on Kick. You have DJ Academics on Twitch and Rumble and YouTube. So they circle the entire platforms when it comes on to social media to make sure they target all the young youths. It's called mind control. It's called mind control. So when they target and market you, I don't mind if they're doing that in the right way. But when they have people grooming you and emasculating you as men, that's wrong. That is wrong. And that's where I say, Adin Ross, what's the ulterior motive when you ask all these questions about male body parts? What's the ulterior motive when your buddies ask all these questions? How comfortable are you just sitting there speaking about male body parts when it's all male in the room and you're playing video games 9 out of 10 times? It's 80% guys and maybe 20% girls, playing the game. Come on, is that the new world order? Is that what we succumb to now? Is that what we succumb to now? The feminism. What's going to happen to America if that's what we come down to now? But folks, maybe, just maybe, that was the entire ulterior motive for the woke agenda. I'm not saying they're winning. No, not saying that. But it seems like they're getting their message across any means necessary. Folks, don't forget to hit the Cash App, man. $ Raymond Nugent. Holla out your boy if you like the content. Let me know what time it is. Don't be afraid, man. Hit the Cash App and also the thumbs up button. I appreciate you in advance. Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon. The reason why I named my channel Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon, because in this world, there's a lot of chronic pain. A lot. The umbrella is getting larger and larger and larger every day with nothing but chronic pain that people are succumbing to. Forget about the physical pain that you feel in your body, but it's just all the other chronic pains. You know what I'm trying to say? The gun violence, the this, the that, the this, wars, this, that. You know what I mean? Disease, all type of shit. You know what I mean? So yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Young people, it's your world. President Obama, show you that in his first or second election. He used the young lads to win that election. That was very smart. Young people, it's your world. Don't F it up. Don't F it up. Believe and still believe in procreation. Believe and still believe in families. You know what I mean? Life goes on. Don't let them force certain agenda down your throat. You don't have to succumb to that. You have your own mind, your own mission, your own task at hand. Don't fall prey to people like the Island Boys and the nastiness that they do on these streams. Don't fall prey to that. That's not the way the real world operates. That's not the way the real world operates, young lads. That is not the way you see your father kissing his brother, or you kissing your brother or your sister, or some dumb shit like that. You don't do no shit like that. Incest bring kids with problems. You don't want to add insult to injury. Leave that alone. That's wrong in the Bible. That's wrong. So that's why they took Bible out of school. That's another thing. So these kids don't really understand and believe in the Creator. So they could tell them anything. They could control their minds in every which way. You can't even pray in school anymore. You can't even say God in school anymore. That is ridiculous. But you could say I'm gay in school. You could say I'm transsexual in school. You could say I'm transvestite in school. You could say you're a sodomite in school. You could say you're an eat today in school. You could say you're a she tomorrow in school. All that fuckery. All that fuckery. But if you say God, it's like you strike a fucking match on the entire school. That is ridiculous. A lot of these kids are lost. We got to help them to find their way back. but not by listening to the Island Boys, not by watching the Island Boys. That's not the way the kids find their way back, the ones who are lost. And the ones with better sense, they go down the dial and listen to some other channel. They don't succumb to the fuckery. See, Adin Ross could put up with that on his channel. I give him credit. He could put up with all that fuckery, you know? And I said, man, there's every man for a job, you know? He could put up with all of that fuckery. You know what I mean? And also, what I noticed with him, he's very bright because I watched the way he interviewed Charleston White. And I tell you, even though they were doing that, you know, as a one-on-one play, but I tell you, folks, that was a great interview. And Charleston White, you did well in that interview, because if I was a person I was trying to hire, and the way you spoke and the way you relate yourself to all these questions, I would have hired you, of course, because I know intelligence when I see it. Forget about your rhetoric, Charleston. I know intelligence when I see it. I listen to you speak in different ways. You say you have different personalities. I don't understand that, you know? But, you know, don't fall prey to all of this, Charleston, all of this butt buddy talks on live stream. It doesn't make you look right. That's not your brand. You know, that's not something you want to promote. Leave that to the people who promote that, you know? And Adin Ross, don't push that on Charleston. You know that's not his brand. You could push that on the Island Boys, you know, and other folks who deal with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keep that with the Island Boys, you know, with their nastiness, because they're two sodomites. You know what I mean? And for all the other young youths and the other young black youths, man, don't take it the wrong way on the internet. Try not to be and get emasculated by these guys, man. You know? Try to learn how to pick sense out of nonsense. I'm going to say it again. Young lads, try to learn to pick sense out of nonsense. Don't fall prey to an agenda if it ain't you. Be sure it's you. And you can wait. There's no rush. Wait until you're certain and you're old enough to understand. And then you could say that's you. At least later on in life, you won't have no regrets and try to hurt yourself because you figure you made an irrational decision and effed up your mental state and everything. Because I see it happens today. Some people go the other way for benefits. Some people go the other way for jobs. Some people go the other way for promotion. Some people go the other way for money. Some people go the other way for bling bling. Some people go the other way for enticements. Some people bend over for a little bit of nothing. Some people bend over for a record deal. Ask Puffy. Ask Quincy Jones, allegedly. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to have to go through those doors if you're not certain you're not one of those persons. You know? When you have to be forced through those doors and then those prey up on you, and then for the rest of your life, you're just living in sadness, you know, in a mental sadness because you made some dumb decisions that you're not certain about, that you're that type of person. Don't follow. Be a leader to yourself, to your loved ones. If you're a follower, 9 out of 10 times you will end up in the ditch, unless you're following the right objectives in life. So that's what I got to say to the young youths today, because I see a lot of them going astray and they're falling prey to the agenda. Because they don't want to work. That's another thing. They're lazy. They want to sit around and play video games, some of them. If you're good at it, that's fine. If you can make a living at it, that's fine. But not everybody is made to be a streamer. Some of you young kids need to go out there and get you a fucking job. Go to school. If we die today, all these old folks, and leave the country to you, what's going to happen? All of you guys going to be streamers, YouTubers, and also want to be on Instagram? Hey, folks, I already did 20, 25 years in the hospital. Surgery, you know what I mean? I've been retired now for what? 17 years. I retired when I was 33 years old. 33. It was unfortunate, you know. I have a rebuilt spine, so I live with chronic pain. So, I mean, I took up YouTube for a leisure because, you know, it's like also an outlet for me. You know, it's like a therapy for me, you know. You can look at my videos. I don't really get the views that other people get. And I just keep making my videos because maybe one day somebody will grasp what I'm saying, you know, and then those videos will, you know, progress. But hey, maybe later. Right now I'm living okay, so no problems. You know what I mean? But at the same time, don't forget the Cash App. Even though I tell you that, still hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? $ Raymond Nugent. Let me hear that shit rings. You know what I mean? So Adin Ross, man, you know, you're a good kid. You know, let's get back to you. Adin Ross, you're going to have to work with Charleston White, whether you believe it or not. Your boss likes Charleston White, I mean, in a good way. And he want to bring him to the platform. Charleston White is an older guy that you guys could learn a lot from. Maybe he could like come on in and as a grown man and give you young men that lost your way some grown men's talk, because some of you young men that lost your way, you grew up with your mama, your daddy off in prison or somewhere, you know, or your daddy didn't take care of you, you know, your daddy forget about you, you know, you're a bastard child. So you grew up with other fathers. So maybe Charleston White, maybe he could do some good when it comes on to this streaming shit and kick on all these young folks. You know, he said, you know, Charleston White deal with kids and behaviorism and all that type of stuff, unruly kids. So maybe he could shed some light. Who knows? Maybe it's a good way in marketing, but at the same time, I don't want to see the agenda shoving down these kids' throats. That is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Adin Ross, I hold you accountable for trying to emasculate a lot of these young black youths playing the video game. Don't listen to the Island Boys, Adin. Don't listen to the Island Boys and their belief and their nastiness. Don't fall prey to the Island Boys. Move on to different subjects and different people. These boys are nothing but a waste of time, waste of energy. Sodomites, ancestral sodomites. I have never seen two twin brothers doing that type of stuff, doing the nasty, upside down, on a reciprocal. What the fuck? Two twin brothers on a reciprocal. What the fuck? That sounds worse than fucking geometry. Just to try to figure that shit out. These two island fucks. No wonder they were from Epstein Island, because they're weird as fuck. Two weird fucks that was on Epstein Island. Came into civilization. You know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to pronounce it. You know, I'm 52 years old. Came into civilization. Maybe I don't say it right, but fuck it. You understand me? And just trying to fuck up these young kids' head with their BS and their nastiness. That's what I say, young kids, don't fall prey to the Island Boys. You know what I mean? Because it's only 2 out of trillions of people around the world that's acting so weird and stupid. Trying to promote incest. 2 men. 2 men. 2 young men. What the fuck? I have never seen this in my 52 years on this earth. 2 twin brothers fucking. This is worse than taboo. This is worse than fucking taboo. 2 twin brothers fucking. What the fuck? And then you have one bragging that he's the top. And the one that's the bottom, he ain't saying shit because he's taking the dick. Motherfucker. These boys got no fucking shame, man. No morals, man. Where's their fucking mother? I know their father passed away, God rest his soul, but where is their mother? Gosh. No shame? Dude, your mom got to walk on the street. I heard one of them say they have a child. How would you like your child to go to, I'm talking to the island boys. How would you like your child to go to school and a young kid bully him? I say, yo, your dad fucked your brother. Hey, your dad fucked your brother. Hey, your dad fucked your brother. Hey, your dad fucked his brother. He fucked his brother. What type of shit is that? Hey, your dad, going out with his brother. What the fuck? Maybe they take turn and give you, I'm fucking each other. Because there's so much sodomites, I think they take turn and fuck each other. Seriously. The island boys. They take turns and fuck each other. That's how nasty and sick they are. And that's what I think. 10 minutes, one on top, 10 minutes, the other one on top. They rotate. They rotate fucking. Island boys rotate fucking each other. That's why they're promoting these shits, these nastiness. But folks, young kids, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. The woke agenda, they love it. Oh yeah, they want to see that shit more and more. But young kids don't fall for it. It's only a small percent of the world, of the population. Small percent that, fuck with that bullshit. So don't fall for it, young folks. That's absolutely sick and nasty. I still believe in you, young folks. We still have a lot of innovators out there, a lot of builders out there coming up. I'm talking about young youths. A lot of doctors, lawyers, dentists, politicians. Do it the right way. My daughter is a high school teacher. My niece is a high school teacher. So I'm glad I have two people that are educating the world. Because we need people to educate the world in the right way. That's why I'm so proud. I have two kids. One winner, one loser. Hey, I'm not afraid to say it. My son is a fuck up. You know what I mean? But at least he's straight. Say, hey, thank God. And they gave me a grandchild. So I have 3 granddaughters. 3 beautiful granddaughters. And can you imagine if my kids were just, you know what I mean? Then I wouldn't end up being a grandparent if they were just being selfish and choosing, to go like flow. I wouldn't have no grandkids. I have 3 beautiful grandkids and I love them. I adore them. I'm only 52. I start early. My first child is 30 years old. My second child is 28 years old. My daughter gave me 2 granddaughters and my son gave me 1 granddaughter. An 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-month-year-old. And they keep me busy. And I am happy because you know what? At least I ain't got to focus on all this nonsense that's going on. It's too much. And then for these grandkids that I have, yes, my kids, they pass the age of the fuckery. So these grandkids that I have, I worry about them. 20 years from now. 30 years from now. So when you're feeding them with all these things and grooming them and controlling their minds with all these narratives and all these woke agendas and everything, let them choose for themselves. Let them grow up. Let them grow up, at least to be teenagers or something, so they could make logical choices so it doesn't affect them in the later part of their life. Because a lot of people make irrational choices and later on in life, You don't want to know where they end up. I don't want to say the word. For real. Mentally, it could F people up. So let a person be a person. Let them live their life. Let them explore their life. Let them feel themselves. Say, okay, this is me. You know what I mean? This is me. This is the way God made me. I love myself the way I am. You know? Don't make choices because of peer pressure. Don't make choices because of friends. Don't make choices because of social media. Don't make choices because of an agenda. Because in the long run, you're the one that has to deal with that shit. When you close your door, in the afternoon or at night, when you don't have the agenda around you, and you lay in your bed depressed and uncomfortable because you make a choice that you can't live with, then what? That's what I'm talking about. The dark corner of your choices. When you get to that dark corner, what do you do to yourself? That's what I'm talking about. So when you're pushing these things on these kids, man, 20 years from now, the suicide rate might be astronomical because of the mind control. Because of the uncertainty for these young kids down the line. They don't do no research. They just like to Google. That's it. Google, video game, that's it. That's why I know people like Adin Ross and all these people, Charles, all these people on social media. They could tell you about them. But ask a young kid about a dictionary. They're like, what? Ask them about an atlas. You know about social studies, right? You know atlas? You young kids know what an atlas is? I'm sure I'm talking to you right now and you might Google it. Do you know what an atlas is? When I was growing up in school, I used an atlas. It's like this, a big fucking book. And this is why I have to flip that book and look about the countries, islands, and shit like that so I can learn social studies. Day by day, I'm flipping pages, not fucking social media. Dictionary, the Webster Dictionary, like this. I'm walking with the school. Every day I'm looking up meanings, abbreviations, you know? So I comprehend all that shit. Because when you go on Google, you're not comprehending. All that's fast learning. You move on to the next. That's why you have no focus. Because you let the machine drives you. You let a machine directs you. Then how are you going to focus in life, young folks? If you believe in a machine every day, 24 hours of the day. Now they're trying to tell you to stay woke. You know why? Because you're going on a brick wall 100 miles an hour. And you have to be awake to see the collusion. Oh, yeah. You want to be awake for that shit. Because it's going to be a fucked up collusion. So you want to be awake for that one. They call it woke. Now you have pansexuals. LGBTQ, there's no P in that motherfucker. No, they're adding P, pansexuals. I'm waiting for them to add the fucking P. No, you're having these pansexuals. What else? You're going to have Z-sexuals? Zoologists? Well, you have zoologists because, you know, these people that fucking with animals, what do you call them? Some zoo shit or whatever. But you already have those type of nasty people, you know? So you have all these people that took over the fucking alphabet. Something that was designated for kids to learn their ABC. This is how fucked up this world is. Look at the nastiness in this world. First, you took the God rainbow that came from heaven. Then you took the fucking alphabet. that the kids from birth, that's how they learn to pronounce letters, A, B, C, D, you know what I mean? They learn the alphabet, but that practiced them and from stage one and how to learn to read. Folks, follow me for a second. And this is how fucked up society is. You took the alphabet from the kids and using it as your own tool. And you don't see that as a problem? You don't see that as a problem? You took the Bibles out of school. People can't pray in school no more. You don't see that as a problem? But every day, you want to shove the camera and show the gun violence in school. You want to show the camera and show the mass shootings in school. All these things. You know why? Because these kids don't have no fucking foundation. A lot of them are lost. And it's your fault. It's your fault why they're lost. That's why you're not doing nothing. Because you already have the prison system in place. Everything is in place. If they go cool, you have those people in place. You know what I mean? It's orchestrated. It's so fucked up. But these young kids, they can't see it because they're blindfolded because of the mind control, the mind fuck that they're getting. They're so busy with these streaming. They're so busy with Adin Ross and all these type of motherfuckers, island boys, that they're not even thinking for themselves. Now, you try to walk in for an interview. I have tattoos. I have nothing against tattoos. But you try to walk in for an interview with your entire face decorated with tattoos. Entire face. Okay? Looking like a fucking zombie in Mali. A goon. A masquerade. Do you know what a masquerade is? A masquerade? That's a person that comes out. They call him John Kunu. Google the word John Kunu. I'm giving you some new words today. John Kunu, okay, or masquerade. They comes out Christmas times with decorations and horns and all that type of shit. You know those type of people that dance around and act really silly? You know? That's what the island boys remind me of. John Kunus. You know what I mean? They still perform that shit in Canada and in the Caribbean. You know? That's what the island boys remind me of. John Kunus. You know what I mean? But in a different way. They're sodomite John Kunus from Sodom and Gomorrah. You know? They look like two fucking aliens. The island boys look like two fucking aliens. I swear to God. They are the two first AI kids in America. Their origin is from the Epstein Island. That's their origin. The Epstein Island. That's where them two motherfuckers are from. That's why you see they have no attention span. They just program, you know, yada, 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 yada. They two program fucks. Two program fuck buddies. They just made them like twins. That's why they could fuck each other and don't even give a fuck about it. About incest and everything. Two nasty son of a bitches. That were programmed not to have morals or self-esteem. Can you imagine 25 years from now, the island boys, how they look with them tattoos and they're sagging? They're fucking zombies. They're ghosts. People are going to run from them. They're going to look terrified. They already look terrified. I saw Adin Ross have them boys up there. They pulling out their pecker on live stream. They're pulling out guns on live stream. And they have kids watching this shit. You have kids that play their games. What's the kick on live stream? So parents, I'm telling you, be careful with your kids on these sites, on these live stream, playing these video games, on Kick, and all these other places I don't even know. Just be careful, because the content might not be healthy for your child. So just be careful, because today, I'm telling you, they monetize anything, you know? So parents, be careful, because it's all about the dollar sign and the agenda, you know? Forget respect. Forget morals. You know, forget all of that. It's all about a dollar sign and the agenda. Look at Dwayne Wade. No disrespect to his little child, but at least you should have let the child grow up a little bit, older. So now you're going to have other people fall and prey to that and just let their child do whatever, follow suit. People do what they see Hollywood does. It's easy to catch on. Mind control again, because they just show it in the media over and over and over again. While there's so many parts of America that desecrated, that need help, that needs the media to just show the attention on them. But hell no. For what? We need to push this agenda, because the people that own these stations, they're the ones with the knife and the sword in our backs to push these agendas. Folks, look what happened the other day with, is it Little Baby? Little Baby went to a Michael Rubin concert in Long Island, New York. I love Long Island because, I'm always in Long Island, when I'm in New York. Little Baby was sausage between Michael Rubin and one of his guys in about 90 degrees weather. Like that. Little Baby had to sell himself sausage between two men. You know what I'm talking about? Two men that goes the lollipop way, Sausage like that. And they have to take a photo to humiliate him. If you want to make it, we have to humiliate you, or we have to have something on you. Look at that. Hey, I'm not saying I wouldn't have gay friends, but hey, you're not going to sausage me like that, goddammit. You and your boy. No, fuck no. Furthermore, I'll give you a handshake or a pound of this and we gone. None of this shit, you know what I mean? We ain't going to be rubbing dicks together, Little Baby rubbing dicks to dicks. Dicks and ass. What the fuck? And he felt comfortable taking a picture that way? I saw people at the party in suits. I'm talking about men with the ass cut out. With the ass cut out like that. That's what they're pushing. And how they're dressing. Jay-Z and everybody's there. Y'all could go look. Beyonce, everybody. Everybody will deal with that. I'm telling you. So 20 years from now, what are we going to see? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But anyway, folks, Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon, like, share, subscribe to the machine. I think I'm here talking enough for a few minutes. So I'm going to sign off. So I appreciate all you guys. One love. Peace.